Hello YouTube. Now, you might recognise my voice from some of my other videos. However, this is a brand new channel. It's called ShazbutGame, or as I like to call it, ShazGame, or just my generic gaming channel. I've decided to start doing LPs daily, week daily that is, and yeah. So here's the first video, because today is Sunday, but it's actually Monday when you're watching this. But yeah. So, just a bit of an explanation. I've always wanted to do game LPs and all that, and I tried to do it once, and I just didn't commit to it, really. I got, like, a couple of episodes in, but then just, you know. So, I've decided to do a daily thing, during the weekdays, that is, not weekends. Weekends is when I'm just going to record the shit out of everything, and then weekdays is when I'll upload the video. So, with that having been said, let's get on to the Monday game of the day, which is Pokemon TCGO. Now, I'm a big fan of Pokemon TCG. I play IRL, which is a weird thing for me to say, I suppose. But yeah, I play this game in real life, which is a interesting game, definitely. And yeah, I'm basically playing with my favourite deck, my RatPoison deck, which is a combination of Raticate and Poison of some kind, which luckily in the most recent set, Plasma Gale, has been through the power of Hypnotoxic Laser. Now, at this point in the game, I'm playing against a Keldeo Blastoise deck, which I believe is actually one of the top tier decks at this moment in time. I'm not sure if it's the top deck, but it's one of the top couple. But yeah, so it's definitely one of the best decks in the format, in my opinion, and in many other people's opinions. And so I'm basically playing up against it, and I'm going to see how I do against a top tier deck. So far, I've done a couple of things. I've started to build up Rattata, and I'm just slowly but surely building everything up. So, yeah. I've missed my first turn where I laid out the Rattata, I laid out the Aspersia, and I laid out the DCE and the Mewtwo EX. And at this point, I put down the Mew EX, which is something that I tend to use as a proxy for Raticate if I'm against something which can do such as Darkrai, for instance, where I can basically do the damage with Raticate, but I don't want to risk losing Raticate or that energy, so playing Mew in some cases is beneficial. So at this point I computer search for the Hypnotoxic Laser after not hitting it with the Colress, and so at this point I use a combination of Super Fang and the Poison in order to knock out the Pokemon that I'm facing against, that Pokemon being Mewtwo EX. So that puts me 2 prizes in the lead, which I'm pretty happy with, and he's still yet to get Blastoise out on the field. However, in this turn he does, and that means that he places an energy onto Keldeo, and he empties his hand with energy, luckily giving him enough energy to kill Raticate, I mean. So, I of course promote Mewtwo EX, being the most health of all of the Pokemon I have currently in play, and I start to slowly build up that second Rattata. Hopefully to build it up into a Raticate, but in the end, you know, I just want to get that out there. So I go for the Colress here for 4 to flush my hand, and I get another Rattata, which I'm quite happy about. And I also managed to pull not only a DCE, a Juniper, and the Raticate I need. So next turn I can easily set up that Raticate that already has an energy on it, and then Juniper, and get a completely fresh hand, giving me, I guess, a bit of an advantage. So he plays Keldeo from his Bianca, and at this point I'm thinking, don't end me out, but luckily he's used Bianca, so he can't end me out, which I'm grateful for. I'm so grateful for at this point in the game. So he uses Secret Sword in order to do 110 damage, which It's not too much, but it's not too bad, you know? So I get to choose between either using an N or a Juniper, and I go for the obvious choice of a Juniper, because an N would only give me 4, and it would give him a new hand. But in this case, I just go straight for the building up of the next Raticate, and I play the Raticate, and also play the laser, which I was desperately searching for in order to get the knockout on the Keldeo. So I'm now 2-5, which I am very pleased about. However, at this point, it doesn't go much better. At this point, next turn I could have pulled in something such as the Squirtle or anything to do some damage, but I choose not to, and it's a bad call on my part. So he Biancas, and he gets, I believe he just gets a hand with lots of energy in it, but he doesn't play any of it yet. He plays it in the next turn. So I go for after killing off my Raticate, I'm a bit pissed off. But, you know, that happens. So I promote the Raticate that I have in the bench because of its free retreat. Now, that's one of the most beautiful things about this deck. And honestly, I think I run too many switches in this deck, purely because of his ability to just completely freely retreat. However, I now face a dilemma. Do I go for the Skylar to look for the Pokedex in order to fully use and abuse that Ether, which I believe at this point I really should have done in order to X-Ball, because I don't believe that I'll be able to knock out the Keldeo this turn. I really, at this point, should have been going for the X-Ball. However, I don't. I go for trying to build up Raticate, and it doesn't work out in the end. So I Skylar in the hopes that I managed to pull a... Ooh, sorry, I'm a bit tired, it's a bit late, but I do this in the hopes of pulling a Pokedex out of my deck. However, I don't get it. I believe my only other one is Prized at the moment, because I run 2 in this deck, and I've used only one of them, and I should have another one, and it turns out that it's been Prized. So I use my basic instinct to retreat out into the Mewtwo EX, which turns out to be a disastrous move, since he could have I don't think he can do enough damage to Mewtwo, but then he of course, oh hang on, I'm jumping ahead a bit, sorry. So I end my turn because frankly I don't know what else to do. I don't want to waste the laser in case he rushes in again. However, that might have been a saving grace if I'd have used that, because it could have put him to sleep. However, he can only do 110 damage, and he can't go for the kill, which I believe is a bit of a... I think is a smart move, but at the same time, he could have gone for an extra prize there, in the form of either an Energy or a Colress, or Super Scoop Up even, because he's running it. But, he goes for the smarter move, I'd say, of killing the Raticate, because he knows what the Raticate can do. He knows that if I have the laser, and I use the laser with the Raticate, boom, roasted. There's no way of escaping such an attack. So I Juniper away my catchers, because I know that using catchers in this deck is not a good idea. However, I foolishly used the psychic energy that was in my hand before flushing my hand out, and I pull into a DCE, which honestly could have saved the game for me. But in the end, it turns out that I didn't, and I wasn't able to attack this turn because of it. Now, he rushes in to cure the magic of the poison, which I think is a bit of an annoyance, but at the same time not so much. But see, at that point, he could have had 100 damage on him, and it could have made things a bit easier for me. Now, I could have gone for a recycle and pulled something, but I did not get the recycle in the end. And so now, it's basically me against the Keldeo, and shit's hit the fan for me, unfortunately. So, I've played my energy for this turn, so I'm going to I believe I Colress for something, but I'm not sure what, because I'm Colressing pretty much for whatever comes about. I need two more energy on that Mewtwo to get past this, but unfortunately I don't pull the energy I need, and this is pretty much my final turn of the game, because he's only got one prize left, and he just has to hit with Sacred Sword in order to go for the win, pretty much. So, of course, my opponent says, nice try with the Raticate deck. I actually ran this deck at Cities and did 2 and 3, which it's not. I mean, I lost more than I won, but you know, I enjoyed myself when I played, and it was good. So he goes for the last prize, and that's the end of the game. Now, when it comes to this channel, I've decided I'm going to do things daily. I think Mondays and Thursdays, I think I'm going to do Pokemon TCGO. I'm not sure yet for this first week, because I really want to get it started this week. But unfortunately, I seem to have lost the one cable from my capture card that I need, so I'll have to wait until I can get hold of another one of those. My plan was originally to do some new Super Mario Bros. U for the first playthrough, but of course I wasn't able to find my component cable, so my capture card is a sitting duck right now. But other than that, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, etc. And I'll see you in the next episode. Good day.